first of the trip build videos that I plan on doing from my kind of summer vacation month-long trip that I went on. This is the Lavender Pit, which is located in Bisbee, Arizona. I mostly wanted to do this just to see if I was able to do like the steps in terms of like the terrain tool, because I don't know if you've seen an open pit mine before, but it's essentially just ledges, 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 ledges. They're also incredibly devastating to the landscape. Obviously, open pit mining is considered, it's one of the most dangerous sectors in terms of like industrial type work in the world. And like, you see what it does to lands. It's devastating to see. Like, you drive past this when you go through Bisbee, and it's just this huge, horrific, open, gaping wound, basically, in the ground. And there's huge problems. Just, they're not great. They're not great. They're not great. I can complain about it a lot, but that was also kind of why I wanted to create this, is just to demonstrate a little bit just how bad they are. Like, you have to be careful that water doesn't form at the bottom of these, which the Lavender Pit does have a little bit, but like, they can create acid mine drainage. Not great, not great. And yeah, it's just, I'm trying not to go into a rant, but I've lived in a lot of different mining towns. Or if I haven't lived in them, I've lived near them. I lived in Virginia City, Montana for a while. Well, near it. I worked in Virginia City. I lived nearby, but that was more, oh my gosh, I can't even think of the word anymore. It's been a hot minute. But it just left piles of dirt behind, basically. That wasn't the type. They more tunneled into the ground, the typical gold mining that you think of. Whereas places like Butte, Montana, they also have a giant copper mine hole in the ground that is horrific to see. There's also a giant statue of the Virgin Mary that terrifies me, and I just need to say that because it terrifies me every single time I see it. I'm like, that's just, no, it glows. That's not cool. That's not cool. That looks like a cryptid. I'm not okay with it. But for some more positive things, Bisbee is a really cool town. It is a copper town, but now it's just kind of like where the hippies go. And I'm super supportive of that. The hippies need to go somewhere, and it's probably the most liberal mining town that I've ever encountered, which is interesting and fantastic. A byproduct of this mining they did was basically Bisbee turquoise, which is known as Bisbee blue. It is among the finest turquoise found anywhere in the world, so it's kind of neat to see that. In terms of this specific mine, operations ended in 1974. There is, I guess, an I can't even talk today, undeveloped deposit that's kind of north of there, but we don't know if they're going to actually mine it or not. I hope not. But yeah, it's just not, it's not great. And as you can see, like, I'm building those different kind of stair deposits. I don't build as many as the actual Lavender Pit itself has, just because I wouldn't, due to the game mechanics, I wouldn't be able to see that far. But I did as deep of a pit as I could. That said, obviously, I'm not going to offer this lot for download, because if you want to create a hole in the ground, you can do exactly as I'm doing. It's not complex. I'm not using any cheats or anything. I'm mostly just seeing what I can do, seeing what the game can do, because I don't play with terrain tools very much, if at all, in this game. Like, no. Because they're awful and wonky, and they don't usually work. But I just wanted to get kind of the angle. There was a specific image that I was referencing from the Wikipedia page. Like I said, I just wanted to see if I could do it. If it would look feasibly like what it was supposed to. And I think I accomplished that, which makes me feel better about my building abilities. It's when I used to not be a builder. I used to just make square boxes. Like, I couldn't do it. And through lots of practice and trial and error, like, I do consider myself a builder now. Well, not a great builder, and I definitely don't use cheats, because I feel like when you use cheats, a lot of times there's a lot more room for error in terms of sim behavior. Like, my main thing is functional places, so I don't build gigantic castles that, because of the routing, your sim is going to take 4 sim hours to go to the bathroom. Like, I really try to avoid things like that. which is why obviously this lot is something that I would never use, not only because this type of mining doesn't exist in any of my type of neighborhoods that I play currently, but also no. As you can see, I'm just slapping some terrain paint on it to just kind of get it to a different color. I already knew that I didn't have the right red tone, but I wanted to see what it would look like as well. And it's kind of interesting how the really steep side is like that gray because of the way that terrain tools work. But yeah, ultimately I'm satisfied with what I set out to do. I could have made the water actually be blue, but the water in the picture was sometimes brown, sometimes blackish looking, so I just left it. That's because of a water mod that I have. So yeah, I hope you found this video interesting. It's more just an introduction to what I plan on doing. The rest are going to be actual buildings and things like that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this series, and yeah, I will see you in the next one.